I think I've said that before, but there is an interesting relationship between Islam and mental health, because I'm sure you have heard many people will tell you that Islam and spirituality in general, prayer, whether you are a Hindu, Christian, Jew, or whoever you are, spirituality can help you heal perhaps better and can help you make sense of the pain. It's not to say that the cure to depression is prayer or religion. You don't have to be ashamed or afraid to seek help, professional help. And it's not like both are not incompatible with each other. You can still try spirituality in parallel with therapy. Or if you feel that you don't need one of them, then that's also up to you. You're not forced to focus only on one area to heal. Again, it's not like one size fits all, and with depression it's again very complex because it's not something visible, not tangible. It's real, but it cannot be quantified as such because it's something which is in your mind. It's psychological and feelings. We are talking about feelings, we're not talking about sensations only, although sometimes your feelings might trigger certain sensations in your body. But just to tell you, like, if I have to share my own experience, whenever I have felt extremely afflicted by a severe depression where I really cannot cope. And yeah, the first, I think, immediate instinct, actually it's like a need, it's an urgent need. You know, many people say that they don't get incentive to pray, but I don't want to tell them that they need to be grateful that they haven't been tested to the point where there is no choice but to go and pray. I know on one hand some people will say it's a blessing because, you know, they tell you that Allah has done all of that, that the hardships you're going through, it's actually, if it's been bringing you closer to God, then it's not a punishment, it's not something negative. Of course, I know when you're going through those dark moments, you don't find any relief even reading. Sometimes you will read these hadiths, but you feel like you just want to stop feeling the way you do, you know. So in my own case, whenever I have felt that way, I have had no choice but to turn to Allah and to become more regular in my prayer. And if I may say so, sometimes in your entire life in the world, you get no relief, nothing makes you happy because you're so depressed. Obviously, everyone who is depressed, even if you're not a Muslim, nothing cheers you up. But the only solace that you may find is in the Quran, like reading, reflecting on it. You feel like Allah is really close to you and He can understand what you're going through, and you know, you will just return to Him. There is no doubt, not even a shadow of a doubt, that you will soon meet Him. Death is very soon. It's very soon. If you're, I don't know what's your age, but I'm 26 years old, so we don't know when it's going to come. But I think that life will go by the blink of an eye. It's true that when you're depressed, every single second seems like an eternity. But if you wake up every day, you listen to the radio, you hear about people passing away, so you're not an exception, you're going to live. So what was I saying? Like, yes, you have this certainty that you're going to meet your Lord. And when you will meet Him, all your troubles and worries will vanish. And you will be grateful that actually you were tested here. Because you know, when you are tested by some difficulty, Allah is forgiving your sins. There is a hadith that says, like, even if a thorn pricks you, you know, you're being expiated from your sins. So yeah, you're being purified, and when you will meet Allah, you will have no regrets, you know, the day you die, because you know that you have really given all that you could. I also remember this hadith, I love this hadith. It tells you that you will continue being tested until you walk the earth without any sin. How many of us can pretend that we are very sinful? We commit so many evil things with our tongue, our hands, our minds, whatever it is. Like myself, if I remember the kinds of things I have said to people, sometimes I am ashamed. Okay, I might have been in pain, but it doesn't excuse you. Nevertheless, Allah knows it. So there are all kinds of scenarios. Again, it's not to say that Islam will cure you from depression. be very careful, don't, if your symptoms are really serious, you don't keep saying that, you will not go and see a doctor, you will not seek therapy or medication, you will just try to solve it through prayer. So it depends on the intensity of the trauma or on how bad you are suffering. But again, there is nothing to be lost actually from from practicing, from doing your prayer and reading the Quran. There is something so special, in the Quran, that no matter how many times you read it, in how many different moments of your life you read it, there is something like the truth, something very emotional, very intimate as well, as if everything that you need to hear is being said there. And it just reminds you again, like as a Muslim, I think we very often get this feeling when we are praying, etc. We get the feeling that this life here is just an illusion. It's like, in the desert you see a mirage. In French we say it mirage. It's an illusion, it's not even real. It's like at any time as if it might end. It's an illusion. There are many times when I have received that sensation, especially if you have a nap or you dream. When you wake up, you will feel like this life is just just an illusion. And yeah, I think that there is a big consolation for you to get from this truth. It's not an idea, it's actually a truth. There is so much more than we can see. I always tell myself, and nothing happens out of coincidence. So you should not feel like it is the end of the world, because there is a bigger reason that you can't see. And also always remember that, there is always an option. Always, you can choose how you view your situation. Either you can victimize yourself and tell yourself that life is horribly cruel, that you don't want to live, that there is nothing to look forward to, that nothing makes any sense. Or you can use your pain to, even as a catalyst, as a fuel, stop focusing on yourself, understand others, help others, go out. One very important thing I have to say before I end, it's actually something that I have been thinking myself. Many times when we are depressed, we tell ourselves that, no, I'm not going to do this, I can't do that, I'm not going to go out, like what's the use? But you can tell yourself that, okay, I'm going to feel depressed, but I'm going to do it nonetheless. I'm going to try. For example, there is a drawing for you. You want to make a drawing or a painting, but you tell yourself that, my mind is in a dark place. I won't be able to concentrate. What's the use? But you have to still do it. Forget about, don't let your depression become an excuse for you to not do things which normal people do. Because I know that when you are depressed, you don't think of yourself as a normal people. You think of yourself as an alien, as if everyone is normal, and you feel jealous when you look at these people, normal people. You tell yourself that they don't know what you're going through, their lives are very easy, so they won't understand. So what's the use of you making this effort of trying to even be normal? But that's actually the most dangerous part. These people are just here to help you and love you, most of them. So if you think of yourself, they don't even think of yourself as a weird or bizarre person. Sometimes you might be projecting your own feelings on other people. Some people actually don't care. They just want to see you happy. They are not overthinking. They don't feel ashamed of you, or they don't judge you because you are depressed. Maybe you are the one who you're overthinking, and again, negative thinking. So instead of using all this energy to think negatively, at least try to use it in a different way. Trust me, it will make a difference. Every little thing will make a difference, but the healing journey is a lengthy one. It's something you will need to have a lot of time, a lot of patience, and above all, most importantly, I keep repeating it, you have to be very, very gentle, caring, careful, loving with yourself. It's the most difficult thing in the world, but you can do it, and it's time that you start doing it. If you don't do that, then it will be harder for you to heal. But if you do it, you will realize that it's as if a huge burden has been lifted from your shoulders. You don't have to be perfect, you don't have to be Your life might have been very chaotic, messy, or traumatic, but you're still an amazing human being worthy of love. I'm sure that most people, if they saw you, they would love you more than you could imagine. So why are you not giving yourself that love that you deserve? That's all that I have to say. I hope that it will help you and myself also, because I need it.